What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 10 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. As we continue to work our way through all of the restricteds, today we are using this really cool Kyurem White team built by Liminator VGC. For those of you who don't know who he is a friend. He is also a content creator and streamer. Make sure to check him out on Twitch, where he will do runs of him using a lot of different teams. It's always a lot of fun. He's a really good guy and just a really cool person overall. So highly recommend checking out not only his YouTube channel, which he uploads occasionally on, but also his Twitch. I'll make sure to link both of them in the description. So talking a little bit about the team, obviously the star is going to be this Kyurem White with an assault vest just to tank a lot of hits really well. Particularly, it does eat up an Astral Barrage from Calyrex pretty comfortably, so that is obviously very important. In terms of the spread, Icy Wind for speed control. Freeze Dry, a really great option just for hitting very hard onto things that resist and also still having ice coverage. Fusion Flare, nice fire type coverage. And finally, Draco Meteor for when you just really need those big hits. Next up, we have, just kind of working our way through the team, we have Volcarona, pretty straightforward. This set will live a Surging Strikes from Urshifu, so that's always important. Obviously, the ability to get off a burn is huge. Rage Powder for redirection for things like Zacian, always great. Whimsicott, also very straightforward. Tailwind Setter, Moonblast protects Encore Tailwind, like nothing really to say about that. Celesteela, I think Celesteela is really cool here. This is a variant with Steel Roller. For people that don't know what Steel Roller does, is it's a base 150 physical Steel type move. The only problem is it requires to have terrain up, and it gets rid of terrain when it's used. So it is fairly situational, but having Tapu Fini to set up that guaranteed Misty terrain for it is huge to let it fire off those big attacks. You also have Heavy Slam for the times where Steel Roller won't work, Leech Seed for some recovery. Landorus, also another pretty straightforward set, and then finally we have Tapu Fini. This is a really cool set. It has Haze, Scald, and Nature's Madness. So Haze, obviously there's a lot of big setting up in this format, so being able to get rid of those boosts is incredible. Scald, obviously just some nice burn, chip damage, we need some of that. And then Nature's Madness to get some big hits early on. So here's the team. We do have the code on screen. We'll make sure to have the rental in the description. And with that, let's just get rocking and rolling and move into the first game. Alright, battle number one, and it is a Zacian team. It is Zacian with Incineroar, Suicune, Rillaboom, Dragapult, and Landorus. So Volcarona is good here, as is Kyurem. So I like what? Whimsicott, Volcarona is tempting. Whimsicott, Kyurem. We can do Whimsicott, Kyurem with Volcarona and Landorus in the back. I think Landorus will be a nice sweeping option in the end game. We could do Volcarona, Kyurem. That's also like not a bad option. I'm gonna stick with this for now. I don't think we really need Celesteela, and Tapu Fini probably isn't necessarily the best, just because we only have Scald as an attacking move. We don't have Moonblast, but at the same time, like it would have been nice. So let's kind of see how this plays out. Yeah, I think Volca is going to be pretty big here in the end game. What we can potentially do is, if they lead Zacian, we do have a very free switch into Volcarona in order to sponge a Behemoth Blade and hopefully get a burn. Like if we can burn Zacian immediately, like that's going to be really great. We can lock it in using Encore and just like kind of set up from there. So I think Wimmy is going to offer just a lot of really good options overall. And so I think it'll really come down to like what else is my opponent bringing, and particularly what are the leads. So we are going to see Zacian Lando. Okay, so Zacian Lando is great, right? Is it great? It's really not, because you can you protect Landorus and you Behemoth Blade into that slot. So we're gonna actually that's fine. We're gonna go for a Tailwind, and we are going to bring out Volcarona, right? You could call the Protect and just target into Whimsicott, but that's also fine, because then we have Rage Powder. So that's really good for us. Volcarona should be able to live a hit from Landorus, and then we can potentially Encore lock it into Protect, and then switch out accordingly. So let's kind of see how things play out. But yeah, I mean, Volcarona with what's it called? With Kyurem would have been a great lead. So we are going to see Incin come out. So Incin, fine. We have Landorus in the back. So the question now is, do you have Suicune? because if you do, then you can match our Tailwind. If not, Kyurem's in a really good spot, especially if they blade into this slot and we get a burn off. That would be like absolute ideal. We are just going to see a protect with Zacian. I think that makes the most sense. We unfortunately cannot go for an Encore because of the big potential fake out. So I'm going to go for a protect here, and I'm just going to go for a Fiery Dance onto I'm going to go for it onto Zacian, right? If Zacian switches out, we can at least try and get a special attack boost. We will see the swap. I'm guessing if it's Suicune or it's Landorus. Okay, that's great, right? We get big chip on Landorus, assuming that they fake out into Whimsicott. Even if they don't, I'm honestly fine just to double up. Okay, so they're going to go into Volk, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I'm very fine to Moonblast and Fiery, and I could Struggle Bug. No, Fiery Dance is 100% accurate. I'm going to go for a double up on a Landorus. Landorus is a big threat for us, as we will see no Protect come out. So that's really good here. It's a good amount of chip. I'm hoping Fiery Dance picks up this knockout. That would be ideal. If it doesn't, we're in a little bit of a troubling spot, which it looks like we are in a troubling spot. We will see a Rock Slide. It will double connect. Volcarona does hold on, so this will trigger Citrus. So that's a pretty good spot for us. We now have a pretty safe swap into our Landorus, as we do see a taunt come out into Whimsicott. So Whimsicott, that's fine, right? I want to go for damage. We, at this point, have, what, an easy Moonblast here, as well as we can Fiery Dance onto Incin. Let's Fiery Dance onto Incin, just to get a little bit more chip onto it. We will see. I probably actually, in all honesty, should have switched out. Preserving Tailwind is really important, especially if they do have Suicune in the back. But what, we get to damage their Incin for some actually pretty good chip, all things considered, as a Flare Blitz will come out. This is a very free switch in into our Landorus, right? Because now we threaten big damage all across the board, where you don't really have a super good option for it. Oh, that's actually really good. Wait, because Whimsicott is taunted. That's why. We can bring out Kyurem here. The big question now is, what do we want to go for? I would like to, yeah, because I'm taunted. I'm going to swap into Landorus and then go for, I'm going to Draco into Incin. I care more about KOing the Incin because of the fact that Wimmy can KO Landorus from this range. We do potentially have to, we potentially have to switch out Kyurem into, this is actually not ideal. Let's see. It has the chance to work out. We do see a Rock Slide. Hopefully Kyurem takes that well. Kyurem is going to take that, so as long as we're not flinching and hit Draco, which we do hit Draco, this should KO Incin. If it KOs Incin, awesome spot to be in. Boom. We will get the KO there. So that's huge for us. We do take the special attack drop, but what? We can double into Zacian. Double into Zacian? Is doubling into Zacian even worth it? We have Lando. So like, what? Protect Zacian. You protect Zacian, you try to KO Kyurem with Lando using a Rock Slide. We will see, yep, Zacian's going to come out here. I could Icy Wind. I'm going to Earth Power onto you and go for an Icy Wind. No, I should Protect. I'm going to Protect here in the event that you target into Landorus and go for an Icy Wind calling a switch. So that's what I need, right? I need you to... Okay, that's good. It looks like you're going to try and Blade into Landorus. Please Blade into Landorus. Perfect. Okay, great. Glad we did that. You're going to go for an Earth Power into Kyurem. Assault Vest, please let me take that. Boom. Love to see that. That's huge. What did we miss? What did we miss? What did we miss? Okay, we hit Zacian. Hitting Zacian is great. Because now we get the speed drop. We can go for an Earth Power here and go for another Icy Wind. Missing the Landorus was really bad. That's fine. We have Whimsicott. We do have Whimsicott. I don't know if we actually KO Landorus though. I mean, not Landorus. KO Zacian. So that makes it a little tricky. What? Because we will see a swap from Zacian into whatever they have in the back, which is going to be Suicune. So Rock Slide. Okay, wow. Taking a chance on a Rock Slide flinch is fine. Let's see how much this is going to do. Landorus connects the Earth Power onto Suicune. That is not enough. That is really not enough damage, unfortunately. Because what we go for an Earth Power onto Suicune. We go for a Moonblast onto you. We can what? Lock out. That was smart. Oh, that's fine. Wait, that's totally fine. Is that fine? Yes, because we can lock out Suicune, right? Suicune, please go for a tip. Okay, never mind. You go for an Icy Wind. It is going to miss on Wimmy, so that is going to unfortunately wrap up the game because yeah, there's no way that Landorus is going to be able to survive that. So overall, I think a pretty tricky first match. I'm trying to like. What? I think we could have played Volcarona a little bit more defensively. Yeah, we should have just been a little bit more aggressive with everything that wasn't Volcarona. Staying in versus that Rock Slide was really hard because I know that a lot of Landoruses at one point at least dropped it for sub, but I mean obviously they kept Rock Slide, so that really helped them out. But overall, I think still a good first battle. It was a hard one. Like it was a Zacian versus me, and obviously like the miss on Landorus was huge, right? Because if we had gotten the hit onto them, they wouldn't have been able to switch out, and then we could have come back from there. So I don't want to say it was because of a miss, but like the miss would have really helped us out, or the lack of the miss would have really helped us out. But like I said, overall really good first battle, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is Eternatus. It is Eternatus with Entei, Landorus, Rillaboom, Ninetales, and Regieleki. So Landorus is very good here. Important to note that they don't have speed control. So Landorus is very big here. Kyurem, I think, is also very big here, being able to deal with Eternatus, being able to deal with really everything that isn't Entei. And for Entei, we do have Lando. I think Tailwind is also going to be important, right? Like, Whimsicott. I think Wimmy Lando is a really good lead. Kyurem is an option. What? Celesteela? Celesteela is nice because of the fact that we can Steel Roller away Rillaboom's terrain. We can go for seeding onto Eternatus. We have like really good options. We are pretty vulnerable to Entei though. I could bring Feeny. I'm going to bring Feeny. Feeny does have Nature's Madness for lowering Kyurem's HP, so regardless of how bulky it can get, we still have a way to drop it to 50. It deals with Entei a lot better, because it's just like, I like Celesteela a lot, but that leaves us way too vulnerable to Entei. Actually, no, we take neutral from fire. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's still, I still like Feeny. Overall, I think it is a little bit risky, obviously, into Eternatus, but we do have Lando and we do have other things. So we are gonna see Eternatus with Entei. So I feel like Entei is going to be scarfed. I would like to Tailwind. I'm going to double protect. I want to do a little bit of scouting to try and see, like, is Entei going to swap out to try and bait an attack? Are we going to see Eternatus set up? Like, are you doubling into Wimmy? Because now we're also in a position where we can Encore lock, depending on what they go for. So if it's like, if we see a Sacred Fire with Entei and a Protect with Eternatus, I am 100% just going to lock Eternatus into Protect and target down the Entei. Because once Entei is gone, Kyurem is in a very good spot. But we also have to be wary of the fact that a lot of this team just does not like Entei. And especially if it's Assault Vest, like that's really tricky for us. Looks like no Protect from anything. We will see, actually a Protect from Eternatus, so that's great. We're going to lock into that slot real quick, and should be a, I'm guessing, Sacred Fire from Landorus. I mean, from Entei into Wimmy. Yep, into Wimmy. That's fine. We can hit this button here and go for a huge Earth Power onto Entei. So this will also let us see, we are going to see a swap. I think that that's really smart because you are afraid of the potential Encore. We will see a Landorus, so like this is a risky play. Okay, so it is probably Assault Vest because they're not faster than us. Or it's just going to be a KO'd Entei. That's really, okay, that's awesome. That's so good for us. We got rid of a huge threat. We have a very safe Tailwind this turn. As Eternatus comes back out, I'm fine just to go for Earth Power. Because, like, I have Kyurem. There's really nothing stopping... Oh, no. Drift. There's nothing other than Drift stopping a Tailwind along with an Earth Power into this Eternatus slot. Because even if you protect, right, your main sort of flyer is on the field. We have a free Kyurem with Icy Wind. Because we have a guaranteed Tailwind at this point. So this is overall really strong for us, right? Because once we get rid of, or once we have the speed advantage, right? We can Icy Wind. We have Freeze Dry. We can deal with this. We just have to. I mean, wow, I am all over the place. We're in a good spot. That's what I'm trying to say. We are going to see a Protect. I think that that's fine. You cannot. You don't have the ability to KO me or my Landorus with your Landorus, barring somehow you have Hidden Power Ice. Sludge Bomb comes out into Wimmy. That's totally fine with me. What? Yeah, nothing in the back. I'm going to just go for a Moonblast here to get some chip, as well as an Earth Power onto Eternatus. This should let me bring out Kyurem pretty freely. Kyurem then, yeah, okay, they're going to cancel. We were able to get in a really good spot, right? Like, although we didn't use Kyurem, per se, the pressure of having it in the back, like, we would have guaranteed been able to take it. And I think setting up Tailwind was really helpful. And also the fact that we KO'd Entei turn 1. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to go for it. So that really paid off. And then, yeah, Kyurem switching in whatever you bring out is not going to take an Earth Power plus an Icy Wind, and we would have just been able to really run with that Tailwind. So, like I said, Kyurem not appearing in the battle, Kyurem still putting in work. But really good second battle, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. Last battle of the day, and it is Calyrex. So definitely a little bit tricky. Calyrex Urshifu with Whimsicott, Incineroar, a Milotic, and Ditto. So what? Wimmy is good. I like Wimmy Kyurem. I think Kyurem is going to be important. We do have to watch out for, what is it called? The Urshifu. So I want Volcarona for that. And I also want Tapu Fini. Let's try those four. I think leaving out Landorus. I think it's fine to leave out Landorus. We should be pretty fine without it. There obviously are a lot of things to watch out for. But overall, like, I think this is our best four. Calyrex, obviously, a very difficult matchup. We don't have any things that resist its attacks, and, like, we kind of are relying on output damage from Kyurem. So depending on what my opponent brings, we'll play a pretty big role, right? We could see an ideal situation is, like, Urshifu. Urshifu and Calyrex protects, so we can set up a Tailwind Encore the Calyrex and then use Volcarona to kind of deal some damage that way. So hoping for that, like a close combat. Yeah, a close combat into a Volcarona for a burn on a Protect on Calyrex while we set up Tailwind is our ideal. Obviously, we can't really control that, but let's see. I think Urshifu is a very good lead option just overall. So that hopefully will work in our favor. It could just be Wimmy Calyrex. Okay, it is Milo Ensign. Milo Ensign, not necessarily the worst, right? We're in a good spot. Kyurem obviously is going to pressure Milotic. Incineroar not really doing too much here. It could be Hypnosis on Milotic. So that obviously is something to consider. But let's think. I'm going to Protect here, and I'm fine just to go for a Freeze Dry onto Milotic. We got to be a little bit cognizant. We should live any hit coming our way. And so I can theoretically swap into Feeny. And that can put us in a good position. Coil on Milotic. Okay, Milotic protects. That's fine. So I'm guessing you Parting Shot. This should be a Parting Shot into Kyurem to bring out like Calyrex. Or a Flare Blitz is fine with me. I am fine to just then hard swap into Feeny and then go for nothing you have wants to take a Freeze Dry. So I'm going to just go for it. It feels really safe. We should have a free... You probably are going to switch out Milo, and then you could Parting Shot on Kyurem. That's also a legitimate option, right? Is to Parting Shot onto Kyurem and switch out into something else. But like I said, I don't really know, other than Ensign, what wants to take a Freeze Dry. So that should be good for us. You did just Protect. You could double Protect. So let's kind of see how this turn plays out. We do just... Okay, so they're going to just stay in and take the Freeze Dry, which does a lot. I obviously would have... I really would have liked to KO. As we will see, a Weakness Policy Milotic. What is it going to go for? It goes for a Recover. So we can... And it's also super slow, right? We saw it go after the Incineroar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually haze away your boosts. And I'm going to go for a Freeze Dry once again. Just because of the fact that, like, okay, you want to do that? That's fine. Let's get rid of that. We can then potentially double up depending on what's going to happen from here. We saw what? Protect, Recover. I'm guessing you have, like, Scald and Icy Wind. But getting rid of your boost is going to be huge. Ideally, what is it called? We would have been slower than Ensign, but that's fine. We will see a Whimsicott come out from you, so that's perfectly fine with me. We know you're full team at this point. We will be able to get another Freeze Dry off. Big damage. Huge damage. Haze away the boost. That's also really great. If Milotic doesn't go for a Recover here. Okay, it is going to be Scald. That's fine, right? You have no more boost. We have an Assault Vest. We tank that. Absolutely tank that. I'm gonna Scald here and then go for an Icy Wind just to try and get some spread damage. We will see a swap. Please be into Calyrex. Okay. Oh, Ditto. Okay. So you don't even have a Calyrex, which is a really interesting choice. We missed Ditto. It looks like you're just going to go for... Okay, that's fine. We'll get a crit onto Wimmy. We do get a Scald onto Kyurem, which, like, not necessarily the most ideal status, but it is something. I'm assuming it's Scarf. What? We need Wimmy. We need Wimmy a lot here. Wimmy is big because that sets us up for Tailwind. Milotic's not really doing much. I'm gonna go for a Nature's Madness here, and I'm gonna switch into Volcarona. Volk's not really doing much. Yeah, we're kind of trying to sack Volcarona in all honesty. But I expect you to target into my, what's it called? Into my Kyurem. You also don't have an Assault Vest, so you're significantly weaker. And what I'm thinking, right, is if we can... Sorry about that. If we can get the Nature's Madness off, right, your HP is so low that we have a guaranteed Freeze Dry KO, especially if we get the Tailwind up. Volcarona also in a really good spot, just to like do some good damage overall. As perfect. We see a Protect on Milotic. No need to worry about that. Should be... Okay, you're going straight for a Draco Meteor. Even better, right? You are now at -2. We can chunk away at your health significantly. And the only issue, though... The main issue, though, right, is you can swap out into Ensign. And we don't really have... It's good damage. We can now Scald into this slot, predicting an Ensign switch. And then... I'm gonna Fiery Dance. Oh yeah, I'm gonna Fiery Dance this as well. I'm not worried about. Yeah, we are gonna see the Ditto swap out. This is gonna be into Ensign. We will be able to get really good chip onto it between Fiery Dance as well as the Scald. We can double protect just to. Oh god, we can double protect to kind of help ourselves out, right? I don't see Milotic KOing either thing. It is chip. I mean, it is a not very effective attack. But we do get the special attack boost, which is huge. As Scald will come out. This will... Oh, God, a KO would have been huge there. A KO would have been absolutely huge. Oh, it's Citrus. Okay. Scald comes out. It should be into Volcarona. We will lose Volcarona. That's totally fine. We can bring out Wimmy. Oh, that's what... Okay, that's what we do. We bring out Wimmy. We force Ditto to copy Whimsicott. Both of those are bad options. That's fine. Double Protect, or we can just double KO. No, because you can recover Milotic. I'm fine to Scald and Moonblast Milotic. Just because that forces you... Okay, and we see perfect. No fake out here. Probably a recover on Milotic. We will just get rid of that. And then Scald will KO Ensign. As it... Okay, it is faster than Feeny. Not a big deal. Brings me down to my Focus Sash. And so you're forced to bring out Ditto. Whatever you copy, we're fine with. Right? Because it's either going to be Tapu Fini, which is not going to like... Yeah, Tapu Fini is not going to like getting hit with a... What is it called? A Freeze Dry. Whimsicott, obviously also not going to like getting hit with a Freeze Dry. And so we can set up Tailwind with Whimsicott because you're probably Scarfed. As yep, we will see Ditto transform. What is it going to become? It is going to become... It's going to become Wimmy. So that's perfect. You only have one source of damage. We can go for a Scald onto you as well as a Tailwind here. I think that should be fine. Like I said, we do have just the ability to bring out Kyurem. Kyurem just going to be able to finish this off pretty effectively. So a very interesting choice actually to not bring the Calyrex, right? Calyrex has such an easy time into this team, but I'm guessing my opponent thought I had Wide Guard on Celesteela, which would make a really big difference. Oh, and we have a burn on Ditto, but we can at least bring out Kyurem to finish the job. Huzzah! So Kyurem can come out. Yeah, like I said, I think it was an interesting call for sure to not bring Calyrex, especially when you had Milotic. I felt like Milotic really didn't do that much, whereas the rest of your team was just so strong overall. But I mean, everyone has a different process for how they figure stuff out. This is a really cool team. I'm glad we got to show it off. Definitely, once again, thanks to Liminator for the team. Make sure to check them out both on Twitch and YouTube if you haven't. We will play some more games with it the next time, and yeah, I mean, it's been cool. It's a little difficult to use, right? It is Kyurem White, but overall some really fun battles. I hope people enjoyed, and yeah, until